It's the Zen Witch here, having a little bit of brandy because it's like after 11 o'clock at night and it's my nightcap, but I also had coffee. So here I am shooting a video and another unboxing video. And tonight, what we are looking at is the Divine Feminine Oracle. Cheers. This is a deck that I've had for a couple of months. Haven't done an awful lot with it, but what I have done, basically picking a card when I need an answer, and it's been very good. So, by Meggan Watterson, artwork by Lisbeth Cheever-Gessaman, a 53 card deck and guidebook for embodying love. And it looks to be a deck that is done with some, Photoshop and then artwork, which is perfectly fine. It's a pretty thick box, nice heavy box in the tradition. The Divine Feminine Oracle, Meggan Watterson. This is published by Hay House, which is coming out with a lot of good decks and excellent books. Every time I get one of their emails, I tremble in fear. Okay, what it says on the back, the Divine Feminine Oracle is an invitation to reclaim your power. It's a spiritual tool to hone your intuition. Sorry, my light is not very good here. Working with it can be a sacred practice of remembering that you contain your own answers. You can drop into your heart, that cathedral of love inside you, and receive what is needed. So that's lovely. In this exquisite oracle deck, scholar, speaker, and author Meggan Watterson has gathered together the saints, mystics, gurus, and goddesses from the world religions who represent both divine beings and the human women who sought to embody them. Each of these sacred ladies, when called upon, can strengthen your capacity to hear your soul. From the unyielding love of Mary Magdalene to the transformational force of the goddess Kali, you will discover the expansive qualities of the divine feminine within you so that you can embody with ease and levity the love that you already are. So, let's take a look. We've got the book on top. Nice thick book. There's a lot of information here. And as usual, I will go straight to the artwork. Now, these in the book are not in any recognizable order. And I haven't read enough to see that they are. So we start with Mary Magdalene, and then we go to Mary of Nazareth, and we go to, who's next? I don't know, I keep skipping them. Rita of Cassia, and then, so they're not, that I can see, well, there's Khadija, Fatima, Kali. So they may be, yes, I think they are arranged by culture. Yeah, because I just went through Kali, Anandamayima, Lakshmi, Parvati, Saraswati, Mirabai, Lalita, Sarada Devi, so those Akhilananda. So those were all from like Indian tradition, India. So I think they're arranged like that in the book. In the table of contents, they are arranged alphabetically, so you don't have to slog through one at a time. But since I've been using this deck, I did not rearrange them into alphabetical order or anything, so you're just going to get them the way they are. Starting with Enhedwana, the High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. And, I mean, am I going to read all of these? There's 53 of them. We'll find out. Very heavy cards. I keep thinking there's two there, and there's only one. So that's, why they're definitely a handful, but they're sturdy, and sturdiness is a good thing. Perpetua, the Saint of Authenticity. And thank you for women of color in this deck. Thank you for diversity. Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Rabia, the Queen of Saintly Women. Zhou Xuanjing, the Mystic of Peace. Let me know if I'm murdering any of these. Dakini, the Enlightened Feminine. Vajrayogini, the Essence of All Buddhas. So now we're into Buddhist culture. I like this. Yeshe Tsogyal, Lady of the Lotus Born. Mai Bago, the Warrior Saint. Freya, the Goddess of Discernment. Discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. I like that. Yamoja, goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Mao Shan, the princess of mercy. Giving is receiving. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance, who is in the middle of my altar back there. Top middle, she's right there. Front and center. Goddess of abundance. Wealth is an inside job. I like that. Sarada Devi, the divine mother. Inanna, the queen of heaven and earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. And yes, these are definitely photographs of women that have then been had artwork done around them. It's a little stark, the difference between the faces and the artwork. You can tell there's two different things going on. Look at how soft this is, and the faces are a little bit crisper. I'm not complaining, just pointing out. And that one is, I have a second one there. Okay, Rita of Kaskia, patroness of impossible causes. Marguerite Porret, the mystic of divine love. So here we're coming into human saints and holy people, and that's very cool too. Mary Magdalene, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. Oh, I like that. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. Machiglabdron, the diamond-hearted Dakini. Fatima, the mother of imams. Try not to move them too much so the focus doesn't go. Akilanda, the goddess of never not broken. I've been hearing about her lately. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So think about that. The goddess of never not broken. It's just an acknowledgement of life. I mean, the cosmic egg, the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. Diana, the queen of the wilderness. Pope Joan. If you didn't know there was a female pope, you know it now. There was Pope Joan. Quick story from Barbara Walker, that when she became pregnant, and when it was discovered that she was a woman when she went into labor, and she was forced out into the street and stoned to death in a particular street which papal processions have avoided ever since. And even though the church vigorously denied that there was a female pope, after her reign, they instituted a very interesting procedure when they voted in a new pope, which was they had him sit on a stool, like a toilet seat, kind of open to a room below where all the cardinals would be, and he would have to sit there in commando while they looked up, and then they would pronounce testiculos habet et bene pendentes, which means he has balls and they hang all right. So thanks, Pope Joan, for that procedure. Kali, the mother of the universe. Ananda Mayima, the joy-permeated mother. Khadija, the mother of believers. Queen Esther, the morning star from the Jewish tradition. Ariadne, mistress of the labyrinth. Thekla, the prophetess of true power. Parvati, the goddess of devotion. Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. I want to contrast these two because this, maybe I am complaining about the artwork just a little bit, because it really does look like a picture of a hat got sat on top of her head. It doesn't look too natural. And this one, you know, obviously there's nothing sat on top of her, so she looks much more natural. Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. Sarala Kali, queen of the outsiders. Bridget, or Breed, the goddess of the eternal flame. Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge. Shekhemet, the red lady. Lalita, the red goddess. Sekhmet, badass. Lilith, the first woman. Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. So let's hear it for having some non-gender conforming images there. The Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. Sappho, the poetess. Sappho, yes. Catherine Labouré, the patroness of miraculous healing. I am ready to heal. I am worthy of the miracles meant for me. Green Tara. This is one of my chief practices, is a practice to Green Tara. Another badass. If you want things done fast and don't mind if it's uncomfortable, go to Green Tara. The Buddha of enlightened action. So yes, she is a Buddha. She's an enlightened being. Saint Bridget, who came from Breed, the goddess, Our Lady of exalted light. So interesting that they have both of those forms, Breed, the goddess, and Saint Bridget as she was Christianized, which is what happened to so many of the gods and goddesses when the pagan cultures were taken over. They were transformed into Christian saints because people would not give up their gods and goddesses. And the Santeria, Voodoo, and Hoodoo, those African-based religions, same thing. There's the names of saints and archangels, but they are definitely layered on top of the existing gods. Amaterasu, the goddess of the goddess of light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. And Isis, the goddess of magic. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. So, the fussiness over photoshopping and stuff aside, it really is a beautiful deck. I love, I have so many goddess decks, and I'll probably put up a playlist of just those, but it is a beautiful deck, and I think, can you ever have too many decks with the feminine divine? I don't think so. So I'm going to... the deck is just to the length of my hand. Let me try and shuffle them this way because I can't honestly remember if I've done it before. Kind of chunky. But we'll do it anyway, a couple more times. Okay, now I have to think of a question. And ask which goddess has a message for me tonight on the day of setting up my ancestor altar. I'm going to do one more shuffle like that, and then we're going to cut. All right. So let's cut shuffle through 3 times. There's 1, and there's 2, and I do have a particular question in mind that I'm not going to voice out loud. And then I'm going to cut. And I see the cut coming now. Mao Shan, the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. So going to the book, let's look at how the book is laid out first of all. We've got... Did I see this? No, it doesn't say this on the box. But when you open it up... Oh, those are other products by Meggan Watterson. How to Love Yourself and Sometimes Other People. Spiritual Advice for Modern Relations. Huh, cool. Have to check those out. So there's the contents page in alphabetical order. The dedication. The introduction. Why these ladies of love. Why this oracle now. Why each card meets you eye to eye. Why I won't tell you how to use this oracle. I think that's something worth reading. I have a personal relationship to each of these sacred ladies. They have changed me, and this is what I want most for you as well. I want you to develop your own relationship to them. All these saints and mystics now live inside me. Their lives of unrelenting courage and unprecedented faith inform me. They are the lineage of love I belong to. So, for example, when I draw Saint Sarah Lakali, I know the message is love. It's about creating more space to welcome love's imminent arrival. I know it's about anchoring even deeper into the love I might be holding in question, or a relationship I'm considering, and it's about letting all logic go and trusting that faith is like a ship without sails. It's a boat that arrives not by force, but through the patient currents of time. But you may draw her and sense a different message. Your soul may whisper a story that I haven't heard, and I want you to trust that. Each description and interpretation that's included in this guidebook is an icebreaker. It's the starting point for you to fall in love with these forces of the divine feminine. I really like the way this is all framed with love and framed with your personal relationship to the cards, because the feminine path really is about spirituality as opposed to religion. Spirituality is internal. Spirituality is my connection with the divine, what I feel inside, what my foundation is, what I believe, what I have experienced more than anything else. Religion is more about what you believe and whether you adopt those beliefs or come to them through experience. But spirituality is experience-based. It can't be otherwise because it is internal. It's internally anchored. So I really love the way these are put together in that way. So let's look at Mao Shan. And I have to go back to the contents. And she is right there. Interesting, page 108. There's a bell ringer for me right there, because a mala has 108 beads on it. And it is a sacred number in Buddhism, which is a core practice of mine. So that kind of rings my bell right off the bat. The Princess of Mercy, giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. So we have a section of who she is and when your soul attracts her card. Then there's a soul voice meditation and an intention. So the intention is just the same as what's written here in the beginning and on the card. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. So you've got history here. I will just skim a little bit. Mao Shan represents the incarnation and fulfillment of mercy. She was a Chinese princess who is believed to have lived during the Tang Dynasty, which was 618 to 907, and to have been the incarnation of the goddess Kuan Yin. She was the daughter of a king who wanted her to marry a wealthy man in order to secure more wealth and power for herself. When she refused, the king sent her to live in a monastery on a secluded island off the coast of China. When the king found out that Mao Shan had transformed the barren island into a paradise, he got so angry that he ordered the monastery to be burned to the ground. But when Mao Shan saw the monastery in flames, she pricked the tip of her tongue with a hairpin and magically summoned a storm that put out the fire. The king then ordered Mao Shan's execution, but no blade or sword could kill her. Instead, each weapon shattered into pieces before touching her body. After several attempts, a gorgeous glowing white tiger appeared and spirited Mao Shan away. So you see her white tiger there. She's also holding an apple. The tiger took her to meet Yama, the ruler of hell. Mao Shan immediately heard the suffering of the souls all around her, and one by one she liberated them with the fierce power of her empathy, certainly a Kuan Yin emanation. Yama had to send Mao Shan away because she was transforming hell into heaven. He gave her the peach of longevity as a gift, so that's not an apple in her hand, it's a peach. It's a peach. Still looks like an apple. Oh well. Mao Shan meditated for many years on the island of Putuoshan. News reached her that the king was on the verge of death and that he needed the eyes and arms of a person without anger in order to live. Mao Shan gave him her eyes and arms. The king was revived and came to honor the person who had saved his life. When he saw that his savior was Mao Shan, he fell to his knees, humbled by the extent of her mercy. When your soul selects her card, I didn't intend to read this whole thing, but I guess I am. The author Sue Monk Kidd articulates the process of empathy so clearly when she writes, "Empathy is the most mysterious transaction that the human soul can have, and it's accessible to all of us. But we have to give ourselves to the opportunity to identify, to plunge ourselves in a story where we see the world from the bottom up or through another's eyes or heart. Empathy is mercy's twin sister." Indeed. Empathy is... Yeah, I mean, can you have one without the other? I suppose you can. Mercy without empathy would be kind of a cold thing and maybe a a condescending thing, it feels like. But mercy and empathy together are, yeah, wow, I believe that. I hear that one. When we can feel into the reality of someone else's suffering, we open up to the possibility of mercy. Mercy comes from the old Etruscan mers, which means exchange. Mercy is the embodiment of compassion. It can feel easy or even natural to have compassion for people who have never harmed us personally. But mercy is having compassion for someone who has. Mercy requires that we give something of ourselves, which is symbolized by Mao Shan giving her eyes and arms to the king. It can feel like a great sacrifice to be so giving towards someone who has given us nothing but suffering. Here's where the magic comes in. The law of the universe is merciful. The more we give, the more we receive. When the king realized the profound act of mercy his daughter bestowed on him, Mao Shan transformed into her true manifestation as the thousand-armed Kuan Yin. Mao Shan is a reminder that giving is the true receiving. When we refuse to release our anger towards someone, we're blocking the flow of the universe within us. Truth. We are not harming the person who harmed us by remaining angry. We are keeping ourselves from receiving the love and light that is already ours. Yes, that's absolutely true. And the giving is the true. Okay, the soul voice meditation. Who can I give mercy to in this moment? The reminder that giving is the true receiving. I want to remind especially women, because we get socialized and trained into giving rather than receiving. And indeed, the prevalent dominant religion in Western culture says it's more blessed to give than to receive. But you can't give unless somebody is willing to receive. And women can be notoriously bad at receiving, or they receive with all kinds of self-condescension, self-minimization. I don't really deserve this. You should, And I worked at a job where I was very young and very fucked up. And there was a woman there who was really compassionate and kind of mentored me. And she would give me a compliment and I would start minimizing and dismissing and, all that kind of stuff. And she would stop me and she said, smile and say thank you. She would just stop me and say, smile and say thank you. And so I learned to smile and say thank you. And you have to realize that when you receive a compliment ungracefully, when you receive it with negativity, you are depriving the giver of the joy of truly giving. So the best thing you can do when someone gives you a gift is to just joyfully receive it. Thank you so much. And particularly a compliment. Just say, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I needed to hear something like that today. I really appreciate it. Learn how to receive. And you know what? I just realized there's a card missing from this deck. I'll be right back. She's on my altar. White Buffalo Calf Woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. I pulled her the other night and she had loads to say to me. So I have to say I'm going to have to do some thinking on Mao Shan here as far as mercy. Because I don't know. I'll do some thinking on it because it's calling me to be merciful to someone and I'm not sure who needs my mercy. But I'll find out when I do some thinking on it. Overall, I think the artwork is beautiful. I love the yoni on the back of the cards. I didn't really show you the backs of the cards. That is the sacred yoni. Guess what that is? The gateway of life that women hold. We are the gatekeepers. So again, I can't have too many goddess oracles, and I think this is a beautiful one too. And yes, I'm going to ask Socrates for his opinion. So Socrates, come on over here, buddy. Would you say that the Divine Feminine Oracle is a wonderful deck? He's not too sure. And he sounds like his batteries are getting low. Thank you for equivocating there, because if you had said, that it was bad, I was going to blame it on your masculinity. Anyway, That's another unboxing of the Divine Feminine Oracle. I'm digging into my newer decks first because I feel like those are the ones people are going to be looking for, but I am also going to continue with unboxing the classics. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you in fact like this video. Let me know down below if there are decks that you'd really like me to review. It's pretty good odds that I already own it because I have like 150, although my God, are there way more decks than that? And an excuse to get myself a new one, so let me know what you want to hear about and what you would like to see. And I put out videos every Monday. Please come back. Please come back. Watch my videos. It's good to see you. Thanks for sticking around this long. You know, when I look at how long people stay for videos, it's not usually through the whole thing. So you are something special. Come back again next Monday, and if you subscribe, you will get notifications when a new video is coming up. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, and blessed be.